What is the greatest design fuck-up of the human body? I only half remember this, so hopefully someone can elaborate. Part of the human eye is arranged backwards. The optic nerve has to pass through it, which creates a blind spot. Some species have a more efficiently designed eye where this part is facing forwards, so the optic nerve just plugs into the back of it. Teeth. What the hell? I don't have to go twice a year to get my armpits scraped out lest they rot off. Testicles. I understand the reason they're not inside the body, but damn. Could we not have evolved some type of bollock armor by now? Sacrum bone is just a fucked up tail and it really hurts if you fall on it. The knees. For a body part that needs to endure so much stress, they are also very delicate. It's one of the most commonly injured body parts, and it doesn't seem to heal well without surgical intervention. Tear a meniscus. Probably going to need surgery to get part of it cut out, since most of the meniscus doesn't have a blood supply and can't heal itself. Allergies. It's just a freaking strawberry. Chill, body. The spine. Women having to bleed and hurt for about a week every month just because they didn't get pregnant. We are too squishy for combat. Roll your ankle once and it's never the same. Women having periods. They lose so many vital nutrients every month and run the risk of becoming anemic. Dudes piss out of the thing they want men to put into their mouths. Because I have food poisoning right now, it would be how our body reacts to illness. I'm shitting straight water. Have major stomach cramps and am gassy both ends, and I know that eating food and drinking electrolytes will help me, but my body doesn't want it. No valve on the balls. How common it is for women to die during childbirth. WTF nature. I did what my hormones were begging me to do since I was 13. And you kill me for it? Sometimes I choke on water. Nutting has a cool-down period. The breathing hole and the food hole are stupid close. The fact that since humans started walking on two legs, a part of the female population would just straight up die during childbirth because of the stupid evolution of the hip bone. Walking upright was just more important for evolution than fitting those goddamn babies through the birth canal. Thanks nature. We don't gestate for as long as we should. We're near enough the only mammal that isn't up and about a couple hours after birth. And that's because we have to get pushed out at 9 months. If we were in there any longer, the mother would never survive childbirth. A strange evolutionary error that leaves us uniquely open to predators at our most vulnerable. Having the reproductive system right next to the waste disposal unit. Not being able to synthesize vitamin C. A lot of these are just harmless leftovers or compromises that are actually better than the alternative despite their flaws. But can we stop and talk about that our spines are literally not designed to be upright in any way? Your brain that just randomly decides it wants to die. The appendix in the human body is like the thermal exhaust port on the Death Star. We deserve an exoskeleton. Recurrent laryngeal nerve. Running the male urethra through the prostate gland. Wisdom teeth. There's no benefit to having them, and they can cause some serious complications, including death, if they end up infected and it spreads to the nearby brain. The appendages used to scratch are slightly too short to reach the itchiest part of the rear torso. That we can't process seawater. You need 8 hours of sleep, but it had to be consecutive. It can't be 6 hours now then 2 later without feeling restful. Skin is far too vulnerable. Doesn't keep you warm. Easily penetrable. Sunburns. And otherwise doesn't offer much protection from anything. Cancer for sure. Also teeth. Let's make every bone in the body self-healing. Except the ones that are under constant bombardment of outside agents. Those we'll just leave to their own devices, and if they start to wither away, then oh well. Hitting your small toe is really easy, and hurts like hell. That our brains are way too big for our mother's hips. Father John Misty. You can bite the inside of your cheeks and your tongue. The pee hole and the pleasure hole are the same, guys. While the pee hole and the pleasure hole are super near. Girls. You know those adorable fuzzy creatures people have as pets? Several human bodies will literally stop working when interacting with them, rendering having a pet nearly impossible. Base HP and armor stats so low that critical hits can one-shot you. We even take damage from the sun, a bee, or even paper. Fight or flight buff includes crapping yourself. Physical stats decline at level 30 if you don't put in an exponential amount of points into it. And all I hear is discussion about if the devs should remove ranged weapons from the game. Grinding coin after level 18 is awful without PvP plus ranged attack if you didn't spec intelligence from the beginning. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens. That our brains are encased in goo that doesn't even protect you properly. Playground is very close to the garbage dispenser. The pain response for getting struck in the genitals. Genitals. Oh fuck. Register pain because we just got fucking smashed for no reason. Quote. Also genitals. Oh fuck. We hurt. Better release endorphins so we don't feel pain anymore. Quote. No fucking user manual. We're stuck reverse engineering the whole damn thing. Pregnancy and childbirth. Why can't we just lay eggs? Balls not having a ribcage. When faced with substances it doesn't like, the human body can do some mild and annoying things such as make watery eyes and a runny nose similar to a cold, or make uncomfortable hives on the skin. But it can also react severely and essentially close off its only method of breathing, causing suffocation. Worse, these substances can be literally almost anything, including water, the body's own sweat, certain foods, exposure to certain animals, and various plants, and they vary from one human to the next based on a variety of factors. Also known as allergies, are stupid and fucking suck. Have you ever looked at the knee? God threw that together late Friday afternoon. Knee joint. Let's make a joint with 3 sticks, a bunch of elastic bands, and a cap to cover up the mess. It should work for a while. Pain reception too high. Our aggression. It was important early on, but it's going to destroy us eventually. The knees are way too vulnerable. They should have been placed backwards. Brain aneurysm at any time. Seizures. Strokes. Seem kind of unnecessary emo. Life is difficult and stressful enough. Stop making ways to randomly die or be injured. We don't have fucking wings, for Christ's sake. Running food and air down the same pipe. Hair in unnecessary places, even though it's for hygiene purposes. Dunno, but I wish my tongue could clean my teeth like a toothbrush does. The battery life sucks. No matter how little you use the device, the batteries are going to run out. You have to charge it at least once a day for 6 to 8 hours. Any less than that, and you have severe functionality problems. The appendix. It's the stupidest, most useless fucking organ. It literally doesn't do anything other than randomly kill you. Pretty serious design flaw if you ask me. Neck and shoulders. Always in pain. Nutsack placement. Honestly, I think there's enough room to stuff them near the kidneys where they can't get injured as easily, and would be much more comfortable. Fingernails are too damn fragile. Ripped off my goddamn fingernail last week. So not fun. As for toenails, you cut the big one wrong and boy does it hurt after being on your feet a long time. Y'all ever broke off the entire big toenail? That straight sucks. This is more of a flaw in all terrestrial non-egg-laying creatures than just humans. But the body uses a lot of energy converting the ammonia our body creates while breaking down proteins into urea so that it's less toxic and can be stored longer before being released in urine. Instead, why can't we just have a gland that stores the ammonia, then be able to spray it out? Not only would this save energy, but it would also provide an awesome poison spray attack. Jacking off. Erections have a cool down time. The brain knowing it's doing wrong but still pushing itself to do it for some dopamine. Tinnitus. Hearing loss. Sure, but a lingering constant ringing? Fuck that. That shouldn't be possible. Aging. I mean, our bodies work so hard to keep us alive. Fights off serious illness and infection in our bodies work to be strong enough to survive in. Then one day it's like your knees suddenly hurt. Quote. Having an eye that inverts the image it sees so that the brain has to do extra work to correct it. Asterisk exposed nutsacks asterisk. 2 words, testicular torsion. How our breathing hole is where our eating and drinking holes are, and we can easily choke to death. Breasts. For most animals, they only swell up when they are pregnant or have young. With humans, however, they are permanently just dangling there. And with each breast usually weighing quite a bit, it can often cause back problems due to the constant weight. They are also only actually useful when breastfeeding, and nothing but a nuisance otherwise. They don't even store spare nutrients or fats, though there is fat in the breasts. In case of an emergency, like camels or etc. Sure, they're hot, but is it really worth it? Your tonsils. Sure, they can help fight infections, but if they swell too much you can't fucking breathe properly. The spine is a great thing but seems to break down under a relatively small amount of stress. I know humans were never meant to live past 35, but the amount of people I know with terrible backs is astounding. Cancer and autoimmune disease. Why? Body. Why? That the waste disposal system and reproduction systems are less than a millimeter apart. The ability to grow cancer. Obviously, some of your cells decide they will do their own thing now, and this makes the whole of you dead. What a fuck up. One that stood out to me is when my professor said we are terrible at detecting oxygen levels. Also, I think this is more evolutionary. But the fact that we respond to psychological problems with the flight or fight response. It's like we can't tell the difference. Body is just like, stress. Have some cortisol. Let's go. Quote. Body gets me ready to fight a tiger, but I just need to do my homework. Men having to go bald after their 20s. Need 8 hours of sleep, but only have 5 hours bladder capacity.